Sonya spanking, that's my fetish. Well, it's not mine. It was not nice. Kai's idea of a taco is a sloppy Joe in a tortilla. He's 100% correct, actually. Yes. I remember Kai W Mini. Fuck Kai W Mini. I'm glad it's dead. I want a Death Knight Whitemane. I'm sure they'll make it a skin eventually. We might have to wait a little bit, but they do that. They get around to it. We all remember Kai W Mini, unfortunately.
This is far from an ideal partnership.
Aww.
The words of the impure fall upon deaf ears.
How the game's been fine. They've been all quick match because we've been playing some Sally. This should get her to 5. And I feel like that will have been a productive evening. Maybe not as many things as I initially planned on doing, but Sally to 5 is pretty good.
Our desires align.
Miard, I think Miard is actually streaming. When I went out to get water, I was doing a stream. Alright, the early game can be a little hard for Sally in the mana department, remember. But we'll get there. It gets better.
How I despise this place.
Oh man, it's not Star Princess Leeming. We can't match. I thought we were gonna be magic girls together, but look at how similar they do look. Hey girl, hey!
Repent, then you may die. Blessings of the cleansing light. Healed. Faithless and weak.
Okay, I'm gonna tap. Have you been waiting long for a match? Well, I'm in a match now, but previously, yes. The queue times for Whitemane are pretty long. Is Whitemane Sally? Yes, her first name is Sally. It's real. Respect the lore. Wow, he blew up. I got the killing blow though. All right, not quite 1 hour. No, not that long. More like 5-10 minutes. Whitemane and Leeming sisters. They both have Star Empire skins. There's Star Queen Leeming or Star Princess Leeming, and then Star Empress Whitemane. That's what I'm playing. Just like Space Lord Leoric and Space Lich Kel'Thuzad are also in the same skin universe.
Our desires align.
My thanks.
Okay, but my team was on top of that.
We've redesigned our trio of protectors for combat in the Nexus. Prepare to begin field testing.
You think they'll make Sourfang and Hots? He has 3 abilities. They're called Cleave, Cleave, and Cleave. And his trait would be Honor. And the higher his Honor is, the harder he cleaves.
We attack as one.
Trio terminal online. Take control of it.
I got you, girl. Oh yeah, we're beating this boy up. Who you think you are? Who you think you are? Fuck out of here. I like how she has a different laugh when she's healing a friendly with clemency versus the laugh she uses when she's healing enemies. I love that ton.
A well-placed strike.
So by the lore is Leeming? No. No, they are opposing each other. They fight each other. They are... Star Queen is Star Queen of whatever she's Queen of, and Star Empress is Empress of whatever she's Empress of, and the Star Empress wants to overthrow the Star Queen. They are not friendly. They are
Perhaps I'm not the only prodigy
opposed.
here after all.
Resurgent.
Glory and zeal. Let the flame of salvation burn.
Triglav protector
Who's Zappy
operational.
Boy? The
Assign a
troll
pilot and a
elemental
gunner so
shaman
you can
from
test
the
its
Battle for
weaponry.
Azeroth cinematic that reappeared in the old Soldiers cinematic. He has an actual name, but nobody cares. He's Zappy Boy. Healing numbers look pretty good compared to... Whoa, Morals! What are you doing, girl? You sleeping?
Then you may die. Let the flame of salvation burn.
Oop, I canceled that by accident. I double clicked. That's okay. Fact about Sally. Try to be auto-attacking while you're healing. Her auto-attacks on heroes also provide heals to targets with zeal. And most importantly, she has a pretty fast auto-attack speed. So you can actually get a decent amount of healing from auto-attacks if you're autoing.
You may die.
What about
So that is the
Space Lord
extent of the
Leoric? No,
Protector's
he's part of the
power.
Eternal Empire. They're a separate faction. Alright, we're going back to Divine
Flame
Reckoning.
of
It was way better.
salvation burn. Stronger and
Cayó ese fuerte. Qué buena ejecución.
Sally is a disciplined priest, yes, if you're giving her a World of Warcraft class.
Espectacular, señores.
Wow, leaving! That ult was great. I like how she taps her little stick on the ground when she mounts up. She's like, ay. Starving is my new dad. I'll kill him myself. I don't need your help leaving. You see me zap that boy?
prodigy here
I'm the
after
zappy
all.
boy. So the Talon we took at 4 is really important for her mana regen, High Inquisitor. And you can get the proc off of the friendly heal from Clemency, which we took at level 1, which is why we take Clemency. Alright, what are we doing, team? Are we fighting? I mean, we're up 10s. Wah! Right this way. Hero Sharebot is so rude to Nightbot. I don't understand why.
Fuerte destruido.
Healed.
There you go.
Oh, curious.
So we got all of their forts. I can slow if I can just get a little closer.
You shall pay for this
Nope.
treachery.
Not close enough.
The Inquisition progresses.
A new terminal will be ready shortly.
Okay, we take self-righteous for the self-healing.
Glory and zeal.
Uh-oh. I think we're still fighting Mingli.
Our design was aligned. Reckoning has come.
Oh, yeah. The Reckoning healing is just so easy and good. You can't say no to it.
Access terminal online.
Because I don't think you
Secure
can say no to
activate
it.
the protector.
Let the flame of salvation burn.
I am going here to tap, though. I didn't get a good reset in there, so I'm just Okay, and I'm going back to my team for more healing
Come,
goodness.
Bear witness.
Oh, hey, what are you doing here?
Faithless and weak.
I mean, she can heal through that on the minions.
Oh, curious.
Look at us, just two magical girls on the point. Yo, girl, you gotta use that gun. Oh. You see Li Ming just not give a fuck there?
Achieved greatness.
Holy shit! I think Phoenix helped. Well, oh wow! I just watched Li Ming explode on them. Alright, anyway, I'm just gonna come back over here.
Protector online. Give me a full demonstration.
Of the cleansing light.
Also, but like, look at her. Just like, I'm ready. Got this stick. Look at me and my stick. I'm looking so pissed right here. What's her dance? Dance. Is it the Napoleon Dynamite dance? I just think that's the Napoleon Dynamite dance. You took a lot of damage there, Thrall. Okay. You're okay now. You got better. Tihaka, you want to come here, buddy? I'll heal you. Okay, and now all allies with Zeal get an extra heal when I use my heal.
Curious.
Okay, keeping my mana full there.
You shall pay for this treachery.
The protector is overloaded. My team will begin repairs.
I don't think so, bud. Okay, reset our mana right there. He in a hole. He didn't care.
I'm healed.
See me just healing everybody? It's so good. It's so good. So much healing in the late game. We're not even 20. I think we just win here.
Our desires align.
We have a T-Rex. Hold on, T-Rex. Eluder just subscribed to the Dinosaur Club via the amazing Twitch Prime. Eluder, thank you so much for your support of the Dinosaur Club. Thank you for being here. You get a dinosaur. Yes! Sally MVP, finally! Of all the games tonight, this is my first MVP. Sally! Look at her! Yeah, good job, Leming. Alright, we're gonna go over the build one more time and then we'll probably be done for the night. Rate your teammates. Big I like how they changed it. Feels amazing, man. Let's okay, we'll peep our Sally Box last. Stream, it's a nice banner. Yeah, that Heroes Hearth banner. Hell yeah. Speaking of Heroes Hearth, boom, here's Heroes Hearth. Because we're gonna look at this build. First we're gonna look at her abilities. We'll start with that. Okay, we got a lot to do. All of a sudden, this just got a lot more complex. Okay. So going to play Sally abilities. Here we go. About Sally's Q is Desperate Plea. It's a small heal for a small amount of mana with no cooldown that you cast on yourself or an ally. When you heal someone with your Q, on the person you heal, you apply your trait, Zeal, and on yourself, you apply Desperation. Desperation increases the mana cost of your Q by 60 and stacks up to 3 times. So up to an increased amount of 180 mana per Q. When an ally or yourself has Zeal on them, all of your damage translates into heals on that target. Yeah, you'd use my Discord, Viva. Alright, so you queue people to apply your trait to them so you can heal them when you deal damage. But using Q repeatedly is going to cost you a butt ton of mana. Your W is Inquisition. It's the beam where you go, oh, ho, 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 and you channel it For 3 seconds, it deals damage and slows. Your E, Searing Lash. After a small delay, it deals damage in a line to all enemies in it. If it hits a hero, it does a second line in an X or T pattern. I guess more like a T because it's a cross. But, you know, it does a second strike on top of itself if it hit a hero the first time. Okay, those are her basic abilities. Heroic abilities, the one we're going to be focusing on, is Divine Reckoning. Consecrate an area, so think of every paladin you've ever known. Consecrate deals damage in that area for 4 seconds. Okay, now we're hitting up the talents. At 1, we take Clemency. You are able to use your W, that's this guy right here, Inquisition, on allies to heal them directly. It also reduces the cooldown of Inquisition by 3 seconds. This is important for 2 reasons. First, obviously, cooldown reduction, and the second being able to cast it on an ally. And that is important because your next talent, level 4, High Inquisitor. Casting Inquisition instantly removes all stacks of Desperation and restores 60 mana per stack, removed up to a maximum of 3, because it can only have 3 stacks. Your level 1 Clemency is important because that heal you can use on an ally now also procs High Inquisitor, so it also removes your stacks of Desperation if you heal an ally with Clemency. Heal Beam felt nice. Heal Beam very nice. It's especially nice because once you get 3 stacks of Desperation, you want to remove them by using Inquisition. And if the enemy team is so far forward that you can't reach them to hit them with your W, it can be much easier to just use your W on a friendly target and get that mana back by healing a friendly target. Also, just sometimes you really need to nuke one person with heals. You can use Clemency. Okay, so that's High Inquisitor is what we're going to take it for. This is really important for your mana management because then you can spam your Q and get all the mana back by using your W. Boof, next, level 7. Zealous Spirit. Upon reaching 2 stacks of Desperation, so 2 Qs, Whitemane gains Zeal, her trait. So, normally, under normal circumstances, you would have to hit Q on yourself to put Zeal on yourself, and then your damage dealt would also heal yourself. However, when we take Zealous Spirit, after you've healed 2 allies with your Q, so let's say your tank and your Li Ming, your damage, you will automatically apply your trait to yourself, and then your damage will heal yourself without having to use an extra Q. That's good. That means you don't have to target yourself. You need to cast 2 in order to do this. However, ideally, we always want to cast 3 at the least so that we can then refund the mana with our W. But at least 2 for a Zealous Spirit. All right, 10, I said we're taking Divine Reckoning. That's just a bunch of damage in an area. What that damage will do, any person on your team who has your trait, Zeal, on them will get healed for the damage Divine Reckoning does. So it's just a big extra heal, and it's also kind of zone control like Kael'thas's Phoenix. Hey, you do whatever you want to do, Malvorat. I'm explaining the build I played all night. You take it or leave it. All right, level 13. We take Self-Righteous. Casting Desperate Plea, your Q, on an ally heals Whitemane. It doesn't grant Zeal, it's just a flat heal. It does scale. It's not 125 forever, it scales. This is important because, again, you're trying not to Q yourself. You want to be using your Qs on your teammates. And now, once we take Self-Righteous, spamming our Q on our teammates is going to just give us free heals. And we don't have to worry about this granting Zeal because we're already going to get Zeal from Zealous Spirit. So it doesn't really matter that Self-Righteous doesn't. We already have that. Okay, next up is Radiance. Upon reaching 3 stacks of Desperation, all allies with Zeal are healed for 200. So now, if you have Q running on 3 people, if you Q 3 people and they have Zeal on them, and then you heal again, you'll heal an extra 200 with stacks. For free, it doesn't cost mana, you don't have to do anything, it just happens. So, between these two, Self-Righteous, which heals yourself, and Radiance, which heals everyone on your team, you can have, theoretically, all 5 people on your team get free heals just as you continue to spam your Q. So you're basically going to spam your Q until you get 3 stacks of Desperation. Then you're going to use your W to remove those stacks of Desperation and then do it all again. And that will just make you vomit out free heals. While you're doing that, throw out your E's and hit people with it for extra damage. If you can, Inquisition on enemies, but like we talked about with positioning, you can always Inquisition on your teammates if you really have to, and then auto attack as much as you can, and you're just going to be vomiting out a ton of heals. Lastly, level 20, you can honestly take any of the 3. It depends. Judgment Day makes your ult deal more damage and also pulls people into the center. So people hit by the outsides of the initial cast get pulled into the middle, and that means they have to run out through all of the damage to escape it. It just is basically increases the amount you're going to heal. That's cool. Subjugation, Inquisition, your W, reduces all damage of the target. So if you have somebody like Genji or the Butcher that you need to try to control when they're charging in, you can W on them with Subjugation and reduce their damage done. That's pretty cool. It's not bad. It probably has a lot of good uses. And then the one that I think I have taken the most is Purge the Wicked. Activates a blast an enemy hero with Holy Fire, reducing their armor by 25 and dealing 300 damage over 4 seconds. The armor reduction is great for heroes like Garrosh that have a butt ton of armor in the first place, or if your team is blowing up a certain target, even if they don't have armor, then it becomes a vulnerability. Cool. The 300 damage over 4 seconds will return as healing to anyone with Zeal on them. So it's also just kind of like a free, no mana, very large hot in the form of a dot. It's kind of weird to think of it that way, but you put this damage on a person and it's going to return potentially to your entire team as heals. So Purge the Wicked's pretty cool. That's the one I like the best, but you could make an argument for any of them. That is the Sally Whitemane build I have been playing tonight. It's in a nutshell, you are spamming your Q and then removing your Desperation stacks with Inquisition and just putting out a ton of healing. Sally is vulnerable to dive of any kind. She has no movement abilities. She has no armor. She has no protection. She has no ice block. She has no vault. She has nothing. So if Sally gets dove, she just has to try to damage through it, to heal through it, or she dies. How long does Zeal last? Zeal lasts 8 seconds. And it can be refreshed mid. You can just keep putting it on the same person over and over again if you need to. Anyway, Sally is really vulnerable to dive. So if the enemy team is really dive heavy, or your team is really backline heavy, like say you have one tank and then you have like, I don't know, Li Ming and Nazeebo, probably don't pick Sally because she's going to get dove and she will die. But if you have a front line that is strong, like a tank and a bruiser, or you have a hard engaged hero like the Butcher, that the enemy team is going to have to deal with them in their back line. Tracer also worked really well, Illidan. That's good for Sally because she can just kind of hide behind that hard engage and get a lot of damage and healing. I'll try to make a new instant invite for you, Viking. I'll see if I can. That one should work. Invite people. Copy. You can try this. I did try an E-build, and I really did not like it. I went a Searing Lash build, and while it is really cool for the crowd control, I did not enjoy it. So I really like this kind of Q-focused build with the 2W